All right, now let's talk about deciding your niche, where you're going to start selling or who you're going to start selling to. And there's really these 3 points that I want to talk about and then give you some suggestions of what's hot and break those down a little bit for you. Uh, Main thing you want to look for is something that people are passionate about, right? It could be something that's trendy as well, but you want to have passion in there. And so I think I mentioned in an earlier video about my daughter had a Barbie birthday party. The Barbie trend is trendy right now, or the Barbie theme is trendy right now. Barbie's been around for decades, but because of the movie coming out on the 21st day or the 21st of July, depending on when you're watching this, it's very trendy right now. And so it has that trend aspect, but it's also Barbie and little girls. My daughter in particular that had the Barbie birthday party, she plays with Barbie. She plays with dolls and dresses them and undresses them and plays little characters with them and whatnot. And so it's actually a passion for her, or a hobby for her. And I put passion and hobby kind of in the same category there, because you're passionate about your hobbies typically, or typically you'll have a hobby because it's something that you're passionate about. Okay. Now, passions don't have to be a hobby, though. It could be anything from, a hobby to a belief or a value. Say it's a political issue, right? That's a passionate issue. Whether you're for or against abortion, or for or against, gay marriage, or LGBTQ, or what, I don't know all the letters now, but whether you're for or against any of these things, both sides are passions, right? And there's political issues, there's hobbies that are passions. Religion is a big one. People are passionate about religion, their different religious beliefs, or their, the mantras of their religion. For Christians, it might be Bible verses. For monks or something like that, it might be some sort of meditation or some sort of affirmation or something like that, right? So there's different types of religions that will all pull out different types of passions, but they're all still within that passion category. So you got hobbies, you got political beliefs, you have religious beliefs, so many different ideas or ideologies that will go into this passion aspect. It could also be, some of these things that we'd have down here, animals. You could be passionate about animals, right? So advocating for animals in adoption, or ready for adoption, right? Because if they're not adopted, we know the outcome of what will happen to them, right? Same thing for passion for children, right? Maybe you have a passion for kids, or maybe you have a passion for your local community, or a passion for being outdoors and hiking, right? That might be in the category of a hobby as well. But you guys get what I'm saying. There is passions for everything, or you can have a passion for anything. And some of the hot ones are occupational and animal. I think those are two really good ones that you should focus on. I didn't put political here just because I don't like political stuff. I know there's a lot of money opportunity there, a lot of opportunity to make money, but typically the more passionate you get in your political products, the more offensive it is to somebody else, right? And so I'm not going to teach you to go, sell a bunch of crap that's offensive to everybody. Somebody's walking around with a t-shirt that's offensive to everybody who walks by. I'm not going to teach you that. You guys could take what I show you here and do that on your own. But I'm not going to teach you that just because that's not something that I'm into. Okay. But what I will tell you about things like occupational, maybe there's you're a police officer, or you're the family of a police, or a police family. Typically you're a family, you have a brother and an uncle and a cousin that's a police officer, or a firefighter, anything EMT actually related. Those are strong occupational, passionate, categories or jobs. And it's a good opportunity to sell products there. But not just EMTs like police officers and whatnot. You have teachers. Teachers is another passion occupation. You could sell plenty of items to teachers or for teachers. Either or, whether you're selling it to the teacher for something that they're going to use it in their classroom because they're passionate about helping children or educating children, or to parents who are going to give the gift to the teacher, for their child, for teaching their child for the last year or whatever. So, occupation, any occupation could you could create products around it, and it could be a passionate occupation, but there are some that are more passionate than others. And so I would look at those and focus on those. Let's see. Animals is another passion one. Like I said, Adoption centers for animals is great, but people love their animals. I mean, they love their cats, they love their dogs. Some people love animals more than others. Matter of fact, I seen something that's actually kind of true of me sometimes, depending on the mood I'm in. It was a quote that says, or a meme or something like that said, whenever I see an animal, I smile and I just want to pet it. Whenever I see a human, I just want to hide. Something to that effect, right? And there's a lot of people that are out there like that. I love animals. Every time I see a dog that walks by, or I walk by a dog, I smile at it, I talk to it, or whatever. Maybe weird, maybe not. I'm not sure. But people are passionate about them, and they're just loving. They make you feel good, and so because of that, it goes into passion. And I think that's where passion lies, or I guess where passion, where the money lies within the passion niches, is where there is a strong love, I guess, or a strong feeling of belonging, a strong feeling of comfort, right? There's negative passions and positive passions, and with politics, which we're going to kind of stay away from, or you can make your choice on that. But with politics, it's typically something that it's anger. It's out of anger. It's like the other side is wrong and we're right, and so let's fight this battle to stand up for what we believe in, right? It's usually a negative passion. Whereas with occupations and animals and other types of genres, genre would be like, 80s theme, right? You might be a video gamer that played Nintendo and Atari growing up in the 70s and 80s, and you got all these colors, and you have a passion for that type of stuff, right? A lot of different genres. You could have a genre or a passion for certain types of music, right? Maybe you're into rock and roll, or you're into country, or you're into rap or Christian music, or whatever it is, right? You have a passion for that genre of items. It doesn't have to be music. It could be clothing. It could be colors. All right, I will point out here that we do have a ChatGPT plugin that will do all the brainstorming for you on this, or with you. You could brainstorm different ideas, and I'll add that to the training here so you can check that out. But that plugin is so helpful, so valuable, because not only does it give you ideas and brainstorm with you on things that you might not have ever even thought of, it'll also give you the designs. You could create the designs right inside of ChatGPT. So that's going to be very helpful for you guys. I advise you to go check that out. But with that being said, let's move down this list. There was a couple more that I wanted to look at. We have our passion that we talked about so far mostly, but let's talk about trending items. So, I mentioned Barbie, my daughter's Barbie birthday party. I mean, that is extremely, going viral right now. I mean, everywhere you look, I see Barbie stuff, maybe just because I've been shopping for it or looking at it and talking about it, but it is really going trendy right now. And they're doing some great marketing right now. I mean, everybody seems to be talking about Barbie, especially if you have daughters or you're into AI or you're into marketing. You're going to see this stuff everywhere about how well they're doing with their marketing. And that creates a trend. And when everybody is talking about it and everybody is getting into it and everybody wants to utilize it, that it's a sweet spot where you could go in and start making money yourself. So I would advise you to look at trending products, and I'll show you how to look for those. We'll do some product research, and you can see what's trending and what's hot, and I'll show you how to do that. But that is something that you definitely want to look into. Problem with trending, though, is that sometimes these trends go away way too fast, and as soon as you get your products made, you get them published, then the trend is gone a lot of times, because you might be a little bit late to the boat, or a little bit late to the show. And I've been there. There's plenty of times where I've set up products. Matter of fact, one that comes right to head is back when fidget spinners were super hot and they were going viral. This is probably about 5, 6, 7 years ago now. It's been a while now. We created these custom fidget spinners, and it took us a while because they were, you could mix and match the little gems, and you can mix and match the colors and the little things that go on them, and all the little different pieces could be mixed and matched, and they come into their special packaging, so they had their own branding and packaging and all that good stuff. And it was a trend that took us a little bit of time. I mean, it was a trend that was going viral. I mean, they were selling fidget spinners everywhere, but for us, it took us so long to get the items ready, the products and everything. By the time we got it ready, the trend was gone, and we never even actually got the store launched, because it was just, we weren't going to make any money. It was not even worth wasting our time on anymore. Okay, so that's the one downside for trending. Versus something like passion, that's almost something that people they're always going to be passionate about things. Trending, it's the coolness factor. It's that it's what's hot right now. Everybody else is using it. Okay, so that is one spot that I do say focus, because you can make a lot of money there. But I would say focus on trending things. One, if you know it's going to trend for a while. But two, another area of trend that you could focus on is in your passion niches. So say you have a passion niche of, for firefighters, right? And there's a certain type of thing that's going viral. So like, going back to the fidget spinners, say I had a firefighter store and the fidget spinners thing took off. Instead of going to create my own, customized fidget spinners, they could buy and all these, they could mix and match and all that. What would have been better is to because I had my firefighter store set up, is just to create firefighter fidget spinners. What are they doing when they're sitting there in the firehouse? They could play with their fidget spinners, right? Or what about their kid, right? Their sons and daughters that wanted fidget spinners. They would like fidget spinners that are firefighter ones because that's what their daddy does or their grandpa does or whatever, right? So when you take that trend and you mix it into with the passion, that's where you're going to have the best opportunity to make money. For one, you're already set up because you already have the passion niche. But two, you don't have to worry about the trend going away, because you could just leave that product on your store and people are still buying fidget spinners. They're still buying these things. They're still, it's still popular, just not as popular. It's not a craze like it was at one time. Okay. Now, no matter what you do, we're all into this to make money. So regardless of whether or not you make a passion product or you make a trending product or brand or store or whatever, regardless of which route you take, the most important thing is that you want to find things that are profitable. You could be passionate about something that nobody will ever buy. We've all met people, or at least I have. If you've been in business for a while and e-commerce for a while, you've probably come across people, or maybe you've done it yourself, where you were passionate about something and you took time to set it up, and you maybe spent a year setting it up, and you go, you invest $50,000 into it, but you believe it so you're so passionate about it, you believe in it so much. But when you go to launch it, you find out that nobody else cares about it. It was really just you or a very small group of people that care about it. And, if it's a low ticket item, $25, you're not going to make any money off of it. Now, if it's a, $45,000 product, it doesn't matter how big your audience is. You could, make a good amount of money from that. All you need to sell is two and make $100,000 a year, just about, right? So I guess the price comes down to it. But for what we're dealing with, for print on demand, for, these design packs and all that good stuff, you really want to make sure that it's a profitable niche. Okay. And the ones that are profitable are occupational, animal, or genre related, right? These are the three that I suggest that will always overlap into here, right? There's passion. You could always add trends to it. So say, going back to my firefighter store, if I had a occupational store for firefighters or police officers or whatever, and there's something that's going viral, that I see that's going viral, like a hat or I don't know, some toy, or I don't know, whatever, right? Something's going viral. It's trendy. It's passion. It's in my passion niche, and it's probably a profitable. If it's trendy, then it's probably going to be profitable, right? So it'll cross all three of these and be in this one little category, right? Occupational. Same thing for animals, right? If you get into something about animals, whether it be, dogs, cats, or help the wild safari animals, whatever, right? You're going to be doing great. If you could cross these up a little bit more, like, maybe service animals for like a canine, right? The canine will do really good. I mean, I've been into the police niche for a while, and I know that niche works really good. And I would suggest, if you can come up with canine products, for dogs that are police officers, you cross two of these suggested niches down here. But you'll cross all of these down here. People are passionate about dogs or passionate about police officers. If it's a trending product like a dog collar or something like that you could sell, even better. And it's always going to be profitable, right? People are going to spend countless dollars on dogs and animals in general, right? And then again, the genre one, these are always profitable because people are grouping around these subjects. And I think the best way to think about genres is categories of people built around music. I think would be a good way to look at this. If we talk about like the 80s genre, that could be music. It could be 80s music, but there's a whole 80s theme, right? It includes the music, it includes the colors, it includes gaming, neon colors. I guess I mentioned colors already, right? There's certain things outside of music that are in that 80s genre, but it's still 80s is a type of music, and it is a genre on its own. And so if you could think about, the music categories, you got rock and roll. Okay, well, rock and roll is a genre of music, but what else is in that category, right? There's a certain style of clothing. There's certain personalities, right? There's other certain things that are within that genre. And if you could point those out, and you could figure those out, then you do really good, because you've narrowed down something that people are passionate about. Okay. And you could always, again, layer trending inside of any of these. You want people, if you get all three of these and cross a couple of these, you're gonna have a home run, right? You might have to test a few different products, a few different designs, but you've nailed a niche, right? And yeah, so that's what I would say. Deciding on your niche, start thinking about these, start doing some research on some of the things that you care about, some of the things that you've seen come across your news feed or your social media that people are talking about. Pay attention there. Pay attention everywhere you look, when you go to the store, when you talk with your friends, when you hear from your kids, wherever you go, whatever you're doing, look for things that people are passionate about. Look for things that are trendy. Look for things where people are spending money on. Like if you see a bumper sticker on a car, well, okay, well, they spent some money on that. If you see somebody wearing a coat and it has something on it, something passionate on it, well, you know that they spent some money on that, right? And so look for these things out in the wild. Look for these things while you're out living your life. And that is where you're going to find what's hot. We could teach you all these strategies about, using all these tools and doing all this research, and you can do that. But I'm going to tell you that 90% of the money that I've made has come from seeing things out in the wild, seeing things out when I'm going to the store, watching TV, scrolling through my news feed, right? And I'm going to show you some strategies that kind of enhance that take those same concepts and enhance that a little bit. But for the most part, if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss most of these opportunities. Okay, so that's it. That's all. Let's move on to the next video.